The polyester nightmare Derek just threw at me lands on my pristine white comforter like a dirty secret. It's an amorphous blob of beige, the kind of color that doesn't complement a single human skin tone, created specifically to make the wearer fade into the wallpaper. The fabric looks itchy from across the room. I already know that if I touch it, the static electricity will snap at my fingers in a tiny, hateful spark. This isn't a dress. It's an insult woven into cheap synthetic fibers. It's a punishment. My eyes drift from the beige monster to my open closet door. Inside, suspended in a protective sheath of white plastic, hangs Victoria's wedding dress. Her real wedding dress. The one with the sweetheart neckline and the hand-beaded lace bodice that cascades into a river of pure white silk. It's breathtaking. It's also mine. Still tagged, still smelling faintly of the expensive boutique I bought it from, and still, most importantly, paid for in full on my American Express card. I reach out and force my fingers to brush against the beige rag. The scratchy material burns against my skin, a physical manifestation of the humiliation Derek intends for me. It's a deliberate, calculated cruelty, designed to put me in my place, to remind me that I am no longer the bride but a certain guest. A desperate plus one, as the dress so eloquently screams. My stomach clenches. It's a familiar feeling, a nauseating cocktail of rage and betrayal that has become my constant companion over the past year. It's the same feeling I got when I saw the first text from Victoria on his phone, the one he swore was just a work thing. It's the same churning sickness I felt when he finally admitted he'd been sleeping with her for months, all while we were planning our own wedding, tasting cakes, and arguing over invitation fonts. He had looked at me with those same flat, unapologetic eyes then, too. Weddings in 18 hours, Maya. Derek's voice is a low smirk, wrapped in false concern. He doesn't even look at me, already turning to leave my apartment, his presence a violation of the one space I have left that he hasn't tainted. Wear it or don't come. Victoria would be disappointed. The lie is so blatant, so lazy, it's almost funny. Victoria would be ecstatic if I didn't come. Her disappointment is the last thing on his mind. His only goal is to parade his victory in front of me, to have me there as a witness to his new, perfect life, but only on his terms. Only if I am broken, dowdy, and seated in the back, a living testament to his power to discard and replace. He pauses at the door, one hand on the knob. It's for the best, to show everyone there are no hard feelings. I stare at the back of his head, at the familiar slope of his shoulders. For a year, I grieved the man I thought he was. I cried until my tear ducts were dry and my friends were sick of hearing his name. I ate my weight in ice cream and watched every sad movie I could find, waiting for the catharsis that never came. The grief was real, but it was for a ghost. The man standing in my doorway, the real Derek, is a stranger. A petty, cruel little man who gets off on the suffering of others. The rage that had been a slow burn for months suddenly clarifies into a cold, hard diamond in my chest. He leaves, shutting the door behind him with a soft click that echoes in the silent apartment. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's handed me my final humiliation, the closing chapter of my pathetic story. He has no idea that he just handed me the opening scene of mine. Tomorrow, Victoria will stand at that altar, glowing and triumphant, ready to become Mrs. Derek Thorne. She'll look out at her guests, and her eyes will eventually find me in the back, swallowed by a sea of beige polyester. She'll smile, a small, secret smile of victory, and she will learn, in front of God and everyone she has ever known, exactly what happens when you steal someone's fiancé and then try to mock them with a dress you think they're forced to wear. The game isn't over, it's just beginning. And tomorrow, I'm not just coming to her wedding. I'm coming to reclaim what's mine. The first move is always the quietest. It's the one they don't see coming, the tiny ripple that will become a tidal wave. Derek and Victoria are expecting tears, maybe a scene. They're expecting me to crumble or to lash out in a way that makes me look unhinged. They aren't expecting a calm, methodical dismantling of their perfect day. I pick up my phone, my fingers steady. I scroll through my contacts until I find the number I saved last week under a false name. Teresa's Flowers. It's the wedding planner's emergency line. I know this because Jasmine, my best friend and personal private investigator, had charmed the information out of a hapless intern at the planning agency. The phone rings twice before a stressed voice answers. Victoria's wedding, this is Candace. Hi, Candace, I say, my voice smooth as glass. This is Maya. I'm calling on behalf of Derek Thorne. There's been a last-minute change of plans for the backup flower delivery. There's a pause, the rustling of papers. The backup delivery for the centerpieces? That's the one, I say. I picture the order form Jasmine found in Derek's car, a secret second order for massive, gaudy arrangements of birds of paradise and orange lilies. Victoria's chosen theme was understated elegance, white roses and baby's breath. Derek was planning to let the wrong flowers arrive, feign outrage, and then swoop in with his backup order, saving the day and proving how indispensable he was. It was classic Derek. Create the chaos, then take credit for the calm. He needs to cancel it, I say simply. Effective immediately. He said something about a budget miscalculation. Oh, okay. Candace stammers, clearly flustered. It's very last minute, but I'll process the cancellation right away. Thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. I hang up, a slow smile spreading across my face. One tiny thread pulled. When Victoria's all-white floral dreams are replaced with a complete void, she won't blame the planner she's been tormenting for months. She'll blame Derek. The doorbell buzzes and I let Jasmine in. She takes one look at the beige monstrosity still festering on my bed and physically recoils. Oh, honey, no. He did not. He did, I say, scooping the dress up with my fingertips as if it's contaminated and tossing it into a corner. Maya, you can't be serious about wearing that rag tomorrow, she says, her eyes wide with a mixture of horror and fury. That man is a monster. She literally stole your fiancé, your ring, your life, and now she wants to humiliate you publicly in polyester? Let her think she's won, I say, walking over to my closet. Let them both think they've broken me. I unzip the garment bag. The morning light streams through my apartment window, catching the thousands of tiny iridescent beads on the bodice of Victoria's dress. It illuminates the gown like a spotlight, a holy relic of their betrayal. I've got something much better planned. Jasmine's jaw drops. You're actually going to do it. It's not a question, it's a statement of awe. I am! She grins, a wicked, triumphant flash of white teeth. I knew I liked you for a reason. Jasmine was the one who sat with me on my floor for 3 days straight after Derek left, feeding me pizza and letting me cry until I was a hollowed-out husk of a person. But she was also the one who, a month later, sat me down and said, okay, crying is done, now we get even. She's an accountant with a mind for numbers and patterns and a healthy dose of suspicion for all of mankind. It was her idea to keep an eye on my old shared credit card account, the one Derek was supposed to have been taken off of months ago. I just have a feeling, she had said. Her eyes narrowed in concentration as she typed away on her laptop. Men like Derek, they aren't just cruel, they're lazy. They take the path of least resistance. And she was right. He had never removed his name, he probably forgot. Or, more likely, he just didn't care. He assumed I'd cancel it, handle the boring life admin like I always did. He didn't count on me leaving it open. He didn't count on Jasmine. The first charge was small, a coffee, then lunch. Then, 6 months ago, the big one. A charge for $12,450 from Isabel's Bridal Couture. My blood had run cold. It wasn't just that he was using my card. He was using my credit to buy my replacement's wedding dress. The sheer audacity of it had taken my breath away. He was building his new life on the foundations of our old one, quite literally. This is it, Jasmine had whispered, her voice trembling with righteous anger. This is how we burn it all down. Now, standing in my sun-drenched living room, the beautiful dress glows with promise. I can already picture Victoria's face, that perfectly constructed mask of bridal bliss, crumbling into dust. I can see the confusion, the dawning horror, the impotent rage. She thinks her perfect day is just hours away. But she's wrong. Her perfect day is hanging in my closet. And tomorrow, her wedding is about to become mine. I run a hand over the cool silk. It feels like victory. The air at the back of the church is cool and carries the cloying scent of lilies from someone else's wedding, a floral ghost haunting the manicured gardens. It's a stark contrast to the simmering panic radiating from the small group huddled by the delivery entrance. I watch from the driver's seat of my car, parked just far enough away to be inconspicuous. Derek is pacing, back and forth, his phone pressed to his ear, his voice a low, angry growl. Even from here, I can see the vein throbbing in his temple. Victoria is surrounded by her bridesmaids, a flock of identical women in pale pink chiffon, their whispers like the rustling of dry leaves. Victoria's face is a thundercloud. The centerpiece crisis is in full swing. The planner, Candace, is nowhere to be seen. Smart girl. I take a deep breath, steeling myself. I get out of the car, deliberately leaving the garment bag with the real dress visible on the back seat. I'm wearing the beige monstrosity. It's even worse than I imagined. The fabric is a cage of scratchy heat, and the seams chafe against my skin with every movement. It's a hair shirt of humiliation, and I am wearing it like a costume. Derek spots me first. His frantic pacing stops. He lowers the phone, and a wave of pure, unadulterated relief washes over his face. He sees the dress, the symbol of my defeat, and his shoulders relax. I am the pathetic ex, here to witness his triumph from the cheap seats, just as he planned. His universe is back in order. Then his eyes flick to my car. He sees the long white garment bag. His brow furrows. Maya? Victoria's voice cuts through the morning air, sharp and laced with suspicion. She detaches herself from her pink-clad sycophants and glides towards me. Her own dress, a simple silk slip she's wearing for the getting ready photos, is probably worth more than my car. Derek said you understood the dress code for certain guests. The condescension is so thick I could choke on it. I force a weak, watery smile. Hi, Victoria. You look lovely. I gesture vaguely towards the garment bag. Oh, this old thing. Just my backup outfit, in case I spill something. You always were clumsy, Derek mutters, joining her side. He slips a proprietary arm around her waist, pulling her against him. A performance for my benefit. Good thing we downgraded your seating. Less chance of you tripping into the cake? The insult is so juvenile, so petty, that a genuine laugh almost escapes me. He really thinks this is his victory lap. Funny, I say, my voice light, airy, betraying none of the cold fury coiling in my gut. Funny how you care so much about my appearance at your wedding, especially when it comes to a dress that was originally mine. So it's a calculated risk, a small poisoned dart. Victoria's eyes narrow. What's that supposed to mean? Derek stiffens. She's just being bitter, honey. Don't listen to her. Am I? I look from his panicked face to her suspicious one. I just meant the wedding, the venue, the season, the caterer, all chosen from a binder that still has my name on it. It's like you took my whole wedding plan and just swapped out the bride. A little tacky, don't you think? Before either of them can respond, I give them a tight little wave. Anyway, I should go find my seat, in the back. I turn and walk towards the main entrance of the church, the scratchy polyester chafing with every triumphant step. I can feel their eyes burning into my back. I planted the seed, let it grow. The scent of jasmine from the church gardens is stronger here, a sweet, heady perfume that fills my lungs. It's ironic, really. Jasmine, the name of my salvation. I close my eyes for a second, and I'm back in my apartment 2 months ago, huddled over Jasmine's laptop. Okay, look at this, she had said, pointing a perfectly manicured finger at the screen. We were looking at the online portal for my old American Express card. He's still using it for small things, I'd said, disgusted. Coffee, gas, he's a parasite. Forget that. Look at the statement from 6 months ago. She clicked, and a PDF loaded. My eyes scanned the lines of transactions, and then I saw it. The charge from Isabel's bridal couture, $12,450. The room went silent. The only sound was the frantic beating of my own heart. He didn't, I whispered. He did, she breathed, her voice filled with a terrible glee. He bought her wedding dress on your credit card. We stared at the screen, the numbers glowing like a neon sign of his depravity. It was more than just theft. It was a violation so profound, so deeply personal, it defied comprehension. He wasn't just building a new life, he was forcing me to finance it. What do I do? I had asked, my voice shaking. Do I call the credit card company? The police? Jasmine had looked at me, a slow, predatory smile spreading across her face. No, that's too easy. They handle it quietly, a slap on the wrist. No, Maya, we don't just get him in trouble, we get revenge. And that's when the plan was born. The first step had been simple. I called the bridal shop. I explained that I was the card holder, that the charge was legitimate, but that there had been a change in plans. The dress was for me, not for Victoria Thorne. My measurements, my name on the order. I told them the bride's name was just a nickname my fiancé used for me. It was a flimsy story, but the shop was dealing with dozens of brides a day, and the person on the phone was a bored summer intern. As long as the bill was paid, they didn't care. I changed the pickup details, and crucially, I changed the emergency contact information. I made myself the primary contact. The cool morning air feels good against my flushed skin. Derek thinks he's playing checkers, moving his pieces around with brute force. He has no idea I've been setting up a chessboard. And he's walking right into checkmate. The midpoint of any good strategy is the point of no return. It's the moment the gears click into place and the machine you've built begins to run on its own, unstoppable. For me, that moment arrives in the form of a single, perfectly timed text message. I'm sitting in the back pew, the beige dress a constant, itchy reminder of my role in this play. I'm an observer for now. From my vantage point, I can see everything. I see Derek, trying and failing to look relaxed as he greets the early arriving guests, his eyes constantly darting toward the church entrance where Victoria is supposed to be having her serene, pre-wedding moments with her photographer. I see Victoria's mother, a woman with a face so tight with Botox it looks like a porcelain mask of disapproval, whispering furiously to Victoria's father. The flower fiasco has clearly unsettled the troops. Then I see Victoria, sequestered in a small anteroom with her bridesmaids. Her phone is in her hand. On cue, it buzzes. I know this because I see her glance down, her expression shifting from irritation to outright confusion. The text is from her sister, who is currently on the other side of the country and blissfully unaware of the drama. Or rather, the text appears to be from her sister. I'd spent $50 on a burner phone and a spoofing app to make sure of it. It's a small detail, but a crucial one. Victoria would trust a text from her sister. The message is simple, designed to create maximum chaos with minimum information. Weirdest thing just happened. Isabel's bridal called Dad's house looking for you. Said there was a mix-up with your dress order and some woman named Maya's emergency contact info. Hope everything is okay. Kisses. I watch as Victoria reads the text, and then reads it again. The name Maya is a bomb drop. It makes no sense. Why would my name be on her dress order? Why would they call her father's house? It's illogical. A piece of a puzzle that doesn't fit, and for a control freak like Victoria, that is maddening. She shows the phone to her maid of honor, who reads it, and her eyes go wide. The whispers start, frantic and panicked. Victoria is tapping furiously on her phone, no doubt trying to call the bridal shop, which is, of course, closed on a Saturday morning. Then she tries to call her sister, who won't answer because she's on a flight. Every door she tries to open is locked. Derek sees the commotion and heads toward the anteroom, his plastic smile plastered on his face. He's in damage control mode. I can practically hear his thoughts from here. Just a small fire. I can put it out, keep her calm until the I do's, then it doesn't matter. His confidence is a magnificent thing to behold right before it shatters. He enters the room, and I can imagine the scene. Victoria, shoving the phone in his face. His confusion as he reads the text. The cold dread that must be creeping up his spine as he sees my name connected to the one thing he thought he had controlled completely, the dress. He's been playing checkers, moving pieces one square at a time. He stole my fiancé. He humiliated me with a dress. Simple, direct moves. He thought I would respond in kind. Cry. Make a scene. A simple, direct move back. He never imagined I would be playing chess. He never imagined that the credit card he so lazily kept using wasn't an oversight, but a trap I had baited and left open for him. He never imagined that his attempt to be the hero with the backup flowers would be so easily foiled. He never imagined I would have the foresight to change the contact information at the bridal shop, a move that seemed small and insignificant at the time, but is now the linchpin of my entire plan. The look on his face when he emerges from the anteroom is everything I had hoped for. The mask is gone. The smug self-assurance has evaporated, replaced by a raw, animal panic. He sees me sitting calmly in the back pew, and for the first time, he understands. He understands that this isn't a coincidence. This isn't a mistake. This is a meticulously planned attack. I am not the victim of his story. I am the architect of his downfall. He says something to Victoria's parents, who both look at him with a new, sharp suspicion. He's losing his allies. His kingdom is crumbling. In exactly 4 hours, a timer I set in my own mind months ago will go off. In 4 hours, Victoria will be scheduled to walk down that aisle, a vision in white. She will walk down that aisle in a dress that was never legally hers. A dress I allowed her to have altered and delivered. A dress she now has reason to believe is part of some elaborate, confusing mistake. And I will be sitting in the back, wearing what she thinks is my punishment, watching it all unfold. Derek catches my eye from across the church. I give him a small, slow smile. Not a weak, watery one this time. This one is cold and sharp and full of teeth. His face goes pale. The game has changed, and he's just realized he doesn't even know the rules. Check. I think back to my relationship with him. I was always the planner, the organizer. I managed our finances, our social calendar, our lives. He called it being a team, but it wasn't. It was me doing the work and him taking the credit. He saw me as reliable, predictable, and ultimately controllable. He never saw me as intelligent. He never saw me as a threat. That was his greatest mistake. He saw a doormat and never thought to check what was hidden underneath. The guests are filling the pews now, a sea of pastel suits and floral dresses, all oblivious to the drama unfolding in the wings. They are here for a love story, and they're going to get one, just not the one they're expecting. They are about to witness the story of a woman who took back her life, one stolen receipt at a time. The church bathroom is a small, sterile box of white tile and fluorescent lights. It smells of cheap air freshener and anxiety. In the mirror, my reflection is a stranger in a beige shroud. The woman staring back at me looks tired, washed out, and defeated. She is exactly who Derek and Victoria want me to be. I lock the door. With a deep, satisfying breath, I reach behind my neck and unzip the polyester prison. The dress pools around my ankles like a shed skin. I kick it into the corner of the stall with my bare foot. It's a profound relief, like taking off a costume I've been forced to wear for a year. From the garment bag hanging on the hook, I liberate the real dress. The silk is cool and heavy in my hands. It whispers as I step into it. It's not just a dress, it's armor. As I pull it up, it settles over my body, fitting me like it was made for me. Because it was. When I'd called the bridal shop to change the order details, I'd given them my measurements, not Victoria's. We were close enough in size that she wouldn't notice during her one and our only fitting, but the dress wasn't tailored for her. It was tailored for me. The hand-beaded lace of the bodice glitters under the harsh bathroom lights. The sweetheart neckline frames my collarbones perfectly. I zip it up, the small teeth connecting with a satisfying click. I turn to the mirror, and the defeated woman is gone. In her place stands a queen. The transformation is so absolute, it takes my breath away. This is not just about a dress. This is about reclamation. I am taking back my power, my narrative, my life. I gather the small clutch bag I'd hidden inside the larger garment bag. Inside is my ammunition, the original credit card receipt from Isabel's bridal, the highlighted American Express statement showing the charge, and the modified order form with my name and signature on it. I take one last look in the mirror, my heart hammering against my ribs, not with fear, but with a wild, exhilarating thrill. It's time. I unlock the door and step out into the hushed, expectant atmosphere of the church foyer. The organ has begun to play a low, ponderous prelude. Guests are rustling their programs, whispering to their neighbors. And then I walk past him. Derek is standing near the main doors, trying to corral his groomsmen. He's trying to project an aura of calm, but the sweat beading on his upper lip betrays him. He sees me out of the corner of his eye and does a double take so violent it's a miracle he doesn't get whiplash. His jaw goes slack. His eyes, wide with disbelief, travel from the glittering bodice of the dress all the way down to the silk hem brushing the floor. The color drains from his face. "Maya," he hisses, his voice a choked, strangled sound. He grabs my arm. His grip is tight, bruising. "What the hell are you doing? You can't just—" I yank my arm free from his grasp, my expression one of cold indifference. "Actually, I can," I say, my voice dangerously quiet. "Since I have the purchase receipt and the credit card statements proving this dress is mine. And since you're currently committing credit card fraud, I'd let go of me if I were you." His hand drops as if he's been burned. Just then, Victoria emerges from the anteroom, her face a mask of frantic, blotchy rage. She's still in her silk slip, a bridesmaid's discarded shawl thrown over her shoulders. "Derek! My mother is having a meltdown and the photographer is asking where the—" She stops dead, her eyes lock on my dress. On her dress. For a moment, there is a dead, ringing silence. The world seems to shrink to the space between the three of us. "That's impossible," she finally snaps, her voice high and shrill. Her eyes dart to Derek, accusingly. "What is this? What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," he says, holding his hands up in a gesture of pathetic surrender. She turns her fury on me. "You! How did you get that? Derek bought my dress months ago." I raise a single, perfectly sculpted eyebrow. Did he? Or did he just charge it to an account that wasn't his? I let the question hang in the air, a poisonous vapor. "Check your bank statements, Victoria." "Oh, wait. You can't. Because he's been using my old credit card, the one I never canceled after our breakup. The one he was supposed to take his name off of. The one he used to pay for your entire honeymoon, by the way. You should probably check on those hotel reservations." Her face, which was already pale, goes completely white. The kind of white that signals imminent collapse. She understands now, all of it. The text message, the call to her father's house. My name on the order. It all clicks into place in a horrifying mosaic of her own public ruin. From inside the church, the organ music swells and the bells in the tower begin to chime. 2:00. The ceremony is supposed to begin now. Victoria realizes she has exactly 30 minutes until her rescheduled start time to find another dress or walk down the aisle in her slip in front of 200 of her closest friends and family. The look on her face is pure, delicious agony. The church falls silent as I walk down the central aisle. The organ music falters for a moment, the organist no doubt staring, confused, at the woman in the magnificent wedding gown who is not the bride. Every head turns. Whispers erupt like brush fires in a dry field. I ignore them all. My focus is singular. I walk to the very front of the church to the section reserved for the bride's family, and I take a seat in the front row. My power move is met with a collective gasp. I smooth the silk of the dress over my knees, a picture of unbothered elegance. I am a living, breathing paradox, a guest in the bride's dress, sitting in the bride's seat. Across the aisle, Derek's parents stare at me, their faces a mixture of confusion and horror. Good, let them stare. Near the altar, the final, pathetic act of this tragedy is playing out. Victoria is huddled with Derek. She's wearing one of the bridesmaids' pale pink chiffon dresses. It's 3 sizes too small. The zipper won't go all the way up her back, and the hem is awkwardly short on her. She looks like a child playing dress-up in her mother's clothes. A cheap, pink taffeta-wrapped bundle of fury and humiliation. You planned this whole thing. Derek's voice is a low hiss, but it carries in the cavernous silence of the church. He's not speaking to me, but at me, accusing me in front of the assembled audience. He's trying to reclaim the narrative, to paint me as the villain. You never got over us, did you? This is because you're a crazy, jealous ex. I don't even turn to look at him. I speak to the altar, my voice clear and calm, projecting to every corner of the room. I got over you the day I found your text to her while we were still engaged. This isn't about jealousy, Derek. This is about theft. This is fraud, Victoria shouts, her voice cracking. She points a trembling finger at me. You can't just steal someone's wedding dress. Now I turn. I rise slowly from my seat and walk the few steps to the altar. I feel like a lawyer approaching the bench for my closing argument. I can't steal what was already mine, I say. I open my small clutch and pull out my evidence. One by one, I place them on the white lace cloth of the altar, like offerings to the God of justice. Here, I say, my voice ringing with clarity, is the receipt from Isabel's bridal couture for $12,450, paid in full. I slide the crisp paper forward. Here, I say, is the American Express statement for the account ending in 7002, an account held solely in my name, Maya Anderson, showing the corresponding charge. You can see it right there, highlighted in yellow. I place the second document next to the first. And here, I say, my voice dropping for the final blow, is the original order form for this dress, with my name, my contact information, and my measurements. And look, right there at the bottom, an authorization for alterations. Signed by, oh, look, it's your signature, Derek, on my credit card authorization slip. I let the papers lie there, an irrefutable testament to their crimes. You're psychotic, Derek snarls, his face contorted in a mask of impotent rage. He takes a step toward me, but his own father puts a restraining hand on his arm. No wonder I left you for someone stable. It's his last desperate shot. He's trying to discredit me, to make me seem like the crazy one. I turn my gaze from him to Victoria, who is staring at the papers on the altar as if they are venomous snakes. I ask the question that will end it all. I direct it to her, but I say it for the benefit of everyone in the church, for her parents, for his parents, for all their friends who are now filming this on their phones. Stable, Victoria? I ask, my voice laced with pity. Is she stable enough to marry a man who can't even afford to buy her a wedding dress? Stable enough to marry a man who uses his ex-girlfriend's credit card to fund their life together? Victoria's mother, the woman with the porcelain face, finally breaks her silence. She steps forward, snatching the authorization form from the altar. Her eyes, magnified by her reading glasses, scan the paper. She sees Derek's messy, familiar signature. She sees my name at the top of the credit card details. A sound escapes her lips. A small, strangled gasp of horror and understanding. She looks at Derek, not with anger, but with a look of pure, unadulterated contempt. She has seen the truth, and in her eyes, he is already condemned. The wedding is over. It never even began. The beautiful church, the expensive flowers that never arrived, the string quartet that has fallen silent. It's all just the backdrop for their spectacular, self-inflicted implosion. And I am the one who lit the match. I look at Victoria, a pathetic doll in a borrowed pink dress, her face a crumpled mess of tears and mascara. Then I look at Derek, held in place by his stunned father, his mask of superiority finally shattered, revealing the weak, fraudulent man underneath. I lean in, just close enough for them to hear my final whispered verdict. The dress was never yours, Victoria, I say, my voice soft but edged with steel. But Derek's debts are? I turn, and without a backward glance, I walk away from the altar, down the aisle, and out of the church. The silk of my dress, my beautiful, hard-won dress, whispers behind me, a sound like the turning of a page to a new chapter. 6 months later, the scent in the air isn't stale church lilies. It's fresh paint, brewing coffee, and the clean, exciting smell of possibility. I'm standing in the middle of my own boutique, Maya Anderson Bridal. Sunlight streams through the floor-to-ceiling windows, illuminating the gowns that line the walls, each one a testament to my own designs, my own hard work, my own name. I took the ugliest moment of my life and spun it into something beautiful, something that is entirely mine. The bell above the door jingles and Jasmine walks in, carrying 2 large coffees. She's wearing a killer smile and a chic power suit. "Morning, mogul," she says, handing me a latte. "How does it feel to be the most sought-after wedding dress designer in the city?" It feels... I take a sip of the hot coffee, letting the warmth spread through me. Right, it feels right. Well, I have some news that's going to make it feel even righter, she says, settling into one of the plush velvet chairs I've set up for clients. I just got off the phone with my contact at the DA's office. My eyebrows shoot up. And? And, she says, drawing the word out dramatically, Mr. Derek Thorne has officially been charged with credit fraud, 12 counts. His lawyer tried to argue it was a misunderstanding, a shared account from a past relationship. Let me guess, I say, a grin playing on my lips. That didn't work? Not when the primary cardholder, that's you, pressed charges with a mountain of evidence and a testimony that made the assistant DA weep with admiration, she says proudly. He's looking at probable jail time. And Victoria? She filed for divorce the day after the honeymoon they took on your dime was cut short by a collections agent at their hotel in Maui. I can't help it. I laugh, a real, deep, joyful laugh that echoes through my beautiful shop. Jasmine's eyes sparkle with mischief. Oh, but that's not even the best part. You know my cousin who works at the high-end consignment shop downtown? The one Victoria's mother practically lives in? The very one. Apparently, Victoria had the audacity to bring in the pink bridesmaid dress from the wedding, trying to consign it. And while she was there, she tried to return a wedding dress she claimed was a gift she never wore. I lean forward, captivated. No. Yes. A dress she never owned from a shop that had her on a blacklist, which she only discovered when they threatened to call security. And get this, the story from the wedding, our story, has become something of a legend in those circles. Apparently, Derek had racked up over $12,000 in other charges on my old card before I finally canceled it. Not just the dress. Flowers, dinners, even a down payment on a car. He was a one-man crime spree. We sit there for a moment, sipping our coffees in comfortable silence, letting the sheer, glorious justice of it all sink in. The chaos, the heartbreak, the betrayal, it all feels like a story from another lifetime about another person. Derek and Victoria are navigating the messy, ugly wreckage of their own making. Divorce proceedings, criminal charges, and the quiet, permanent stain of public humiliation. I look around my boutique, at the shimmering white and ivory gowns waiting for their happy endings, for brides who are starting their lives with love and honesty, not theft and lies. A client is coming in an hour, a woman who was so moved by my story online that she canceled her order with a major designer to work with me instead. She said she wanted a dress made by a survivor. I catch my reflection in the large, gilt-edged mirror on the wall. I'm not just a survivor. I'm the architect of my own victory. Some revenge, I think to myself, is a dish best served cold. But some is best served in white silk and hand-beaded lace. And this revenge? It looks magnificent.